my 1320 beat Hellcats, I know what I'm talking about. Full bolt on 392s, let's go. What is going on, YouTube? I am back with another video, and this has been forever my most requested video, my most asked question in my DM. What did you have done to the 1320? Can I get your build sheet? How did you beat Hellcats? What was in that 1320? So I'm gonna start by showing you guys my build sheets, one by one by one. And again, these are my actual build sheets that I paid for. Hopefully you guys can see that, right? Repair order, mass acceleration. And let me start by saying all 392 6.4 engines are not built quote unquote the same. There are some that are lag on specific dynos and temperature and weather and how long you've had the car. Some of those things matter. But to start off with, your Scatpack does not make 485 horsepower. It makes somewhere between the 420 to 440 wheel horsepower on a good day, and I've seen some dyno at the low 400s, like 406, 409. But for mine, I actually baselined my 1320 at 421 wheel horsepower, which is about average for what my shop saw for 392. I did buy mine brand new, no miles, and I ended up breaking the warranty about 2 months in. 2 months in. Again, this is mine. Hopefully you guys can see that. Y'all are gonna get my government here, right? So let's remember, we're starting off with a base of 420 horsepower. Now that is fairly quick, but the problem is our cars are heavy. So I went with stage one first. I wasn't sure if I wanted to go full on build like I did later on, but I wanted to start with stage one for the 6.4. And at that time, it was the intake, long tube headers, and E85. I went E85 because I knew at some point I wanted to co-charge the car, do some type of boost, and of course E85 helps the boost. Does E85 necessarily help the naturally aspirated engine? In the 392s, not so much, but I wanted to go ahead and get it out of the way so it was done come time to do a bigger build. So I did an intake, Cook's long tube headers, E85, which had to do fuel rails, fuel sensors, upgraded injectors, and so forth. We'll talk about horsepower gain here shortly. Now understand, to be able to do some of these things, there are some keys. One, you have to ship out your ECU. I use HP to get it unlocked, and then they'll ship it back so you can tune the car and so forth. If you don't do that, you can't get these things done. If you get long tube headers, you need a tune. Intake, not so much. The E85, you need a tune. So I did have to ship out and get some HP credits, and shipping it out was $100. And of course, the MPV12 package and the credits were a total of $600, $299 a piece. So there went $700 just to be able to tune my car and unlock the ECU. That's normal. I see the price range from like $750 to $800 right now. And then of course I bought long tube headers from Cook's. That was $2,300, and to install them was $1,000. From there, I had to get fuel injectors. I decided to go with used Hellcat injectors. I did not go to ID 1050s yet or ID 1300s. I wasn't making crazy amount of horsepower, so I didn't need that. I found some used Hellcat injectors in the shop. Shout out to my guy who ended up letting me have those. But I paid for those injectors $207. Then of course I had an ethanol gauge because I needed to know what content I was running on my E85. That was in total $525 to install that gauge. It was a lot of wiring and time from a custom 3D printed shop, and they actually put it where the sunglasses normally go so I could look right up and you could see it. And then of course there were some minor things like of course true E85, flex fuel sensors, crimp sockets, race hoses, braided lines, all of that good stuff that you need to be able to run E85 without corroding your stock lines. So parts was $3,917, and labor was $3,100. In total, I paid $6,957 for all of these things, plus labor, plus some minor things that I wanted for my car to look nice, like that custom 3D printed aspect, all the new wiring to go down, and it looked real clean. I was big on that car being clean. So with that, told you guys the price. So it can range between $5,000 to $7,000 depending on the shop and what you wanted. I wanted some specific things knowing that I was gonna build the car, so I was a little bit more on this end. The intake, there's plenty of options out there. You're not really gonna get any gain from just a intake. You kind of have to work in unison along with the tune. But I did do a carbon intake. I did do long tube headers. I did not go catless. I kept my cats and went full catback exhaust, but at that point I already had one. Gotta ask my guy CLT to hit me. I think I had Corsa back then. And then of course I went E85. Again, stage one. I didn't see as much as I thought I would because I've been around a bunch of boosted cars, BMW guys, Hellcat guys. I'm like, you do 85 long, so you're gonna see the 100 wheel? No, you're not gonna see that, stage one at least. You're gonna see somewhere between a 40 to 60 wheel horsepower gain in your car, depending on the shop, depending on the aggressiveness of the tune. So for my stage one guys, understand 40 wheel horsepower is a good bit, and it is noticeable in the beginning, but it gives you just enough of that itch to keep going. So you can end somewhere between the 460 to 500 wheel horsepower when branded for a minute, excuse me, wheel horsepower, which in a 1320 or a Scatpack is actually great numbers. You're about 120 wheel horsepower off from a Hellcat. Well, if I was 120 wheel horsepower from a Hellcat, how was I beating you? Well, at that point, you're talking tires, learning how to drive the car, light, only doing the 8th mile because you're not going to beat them in a quarter, more than likely, depending on how good of a driver the Hellcat is. But you're going to be sitting in this realm. And let me be very clear, 460 to 500 wheel horsepower on the street is a great number. I think social media has killed us with trying to get to an ungodly amount of horsepower, not knowing that a true street car is great between 400 and 600 wheel horsepower. That is still enough to scare the average person and not be dangerous or start breaking parts. So this is a perfect number. People don't understand that is a great number, especially if you want to track it and daily drive. For me, this is stage one for your 392. Leave me a comment and I'll answer any other questions. But this is my first part of the Toro 1320 build that everybody has asked. This is stage one to your 6.4 Hemi. It gains anywhere from 40 to 60 wheel horsepower, which is great for the money, especially for your 392. But my next video, we'll be talking about stage two and what I did to the 1320 to make it that much faster. Let's go.